Fallout from the Capitol riot from last week continues, with law enforcement making arrests all over the country and some calling for prominent lawmakers to resign over actions leading up to the riot and even during it. But we start with the ceremony held for the fallen Capitol police officer, Brian Sicknick. Sicknick is the Capitol police officer that died from injuries he got from those Trump supporters that stormed the Capitol. At his memorial, people left flags and posters calling him a hero. Several days after his passing, President Trump also ordering flags to be flown half-staff to honor Officer Sicknick. This all coming after House Speaker Nancy Pelosi ordered the Capitol flags to be lowered on Friday. And another police officer is getting some much-deserved attention for his actions during the riots. This is Officer Eugene Goodman. And as you can see, he's being chased by rioters who made their way into the Capitol building. See those chairs in the back there, in between those? That's the Senate chamber where lawmakers were still trying to escape from. Goodman, of course, knows that and makes the conscious decision not to hold the line there, but make himself the distraction and lure the rioters away, making sure everyone in the chamber has the time to escape. Goodman's heroic moves have so many calling for him to be rewarded the Medal of Valor. And law enforcement is continuing their investigation into this riot, with dozens of arrests being made all over America. One of the top questions investigators are asking, though, was there a plan to capture and hold hostage members of Congress? Jessica Snyder looks at the latest in the investigation and tells us what officials are doing to keep lawmakers safe as fears of more violence continue.
There is a lot of concern as we move into a new week and closer to the inauguration in the wake of last week's attack on the U.S. Capitol. The Capitol now surrounded by a 7-foot non-scalable fence and hundreds of National Guard members. They will be sent in for the inauguration next Wednesday. That includes 1,000 members from New York, 6,200 from across the country. And so far, nearly 24 people have been charged federally for their involvement in the violent mob that stormed the Capitol. That includes a man who was found with 11 homemade bombs in his truck parked near the Capitol, plus a handgun, assault rifle, and ammunition. And prosecutors say that man actually had 2 handguns on him when police finally found him. Then there was another man charged with allegedly sending text messages threatening injury to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. When he was found, he had firearms, including an assault rifle and hundreds of rounds of ammunition. That was in the truck that he had parked outside of a Holiday Inn hotel in Washington. But this is likely just the beginning of the charges. The acting U.S. attorney in D.C. now says hundreds of people may end up under arrest as they continue this investigation that encompasses hundreds of prosecutors and FBI agents working from 3 command centers 24/7. And finally, there is some growing concern for the safety of members of Congress, many of whom we've seen in videos yelled at, surrounded in airports as they traveled to and from Washington. Well, this weekend we learned that all members will be able to get increased security when they travel through airports. U.S. Capitol Police, they're coordinating with other law enforcement agencies to make sure those protections happen to keep those members of Congress safe. Jessica Snyder, CNN, Washington.
And protesters in Senator Josh Hawley's home state of Missouri want him out of office. Protesters are upset Hawley led efforts to contest electoral college results in some states that President-elect Joe Biden won. And of course, there's that infamous photo of Hawley raising his hand up in support to the huge crowd of protesters that would soon turn into a group of rioters. They painted a message in the streets of St. Louis: resign Hawley.
And I would like a person to lose power when he misuses power.
Senator Ted Cruz and Hawley also facing some heat for their actions of supporting President Trump's false claims of election fraud and continuing that lie to the American people. Well, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, she's asking Democrats for their input on use of using the 14th Amendment. Under the U.S. Constitution, it allows representatives to remove other members of Congress if they violated their oath by engaging in insurrection or rebellions, or given aid or comfort to enemies thereof. Representative Cori Bush tweeted that she plans to introduce a resolution today to expel members of Congress for violating that amendment. She went on to say, we can't truly have unity without accountability.
All right, let's take a live look here at Capitol Hill there at the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., where they currently have mostly cloudy skies right at freezing mark, 32 degrees, and they're expecting clouds to be on the increase there and high today going up to the mid-40s. No mention of rain or any snow in that area today, just mostly cloudy. All right, let's look at our radar right here in the mid-state, where currently we do have a little bit of shower activity. It's already moved through the Macon-Warner Robins area, very light and maybe just sprinkles out there. However, we turn your attention over to the line here, the state line between Alabama and Georgia, where you see a larger band of rain that will be moving in later today. And again, that'll be here with us later this morning, but especially into the afternoon. So rain's coming back today, and it's going to hold those temperatures down again. We're talking high temperatures only in the mid-40s today. Looking at downtown Macon from the Wilson Bryant Heating and Air Skycast Network, clouds are on the increase here. Temperatures at 40 degrees, and statewide temperatures you can see we're all of us in the 30s and 40s. 40 here in Macon, 42 over there in Columbus. Along the coastline, rather chilly as well. Savannah's 45, Brunswick right now 46. Now, as you head out for work this morning, cloudy skies, but I think most of us will be dry. But you head home this afternoon, that's a different story. We're talking cloudy skies and off and on rain showers and very chilly temperatures today as well. And you can look at your day planner. You see by 1 o'clock we're 46 degrees, by 4 o'clock 46. So that's about where we're going to be topping out today, upper 40s. And then as the sun sets, the temperature will drop a little bit, but we'll still have some rain around with us at least for the first part of the night, and temperatures dropping down to the upper 30s to the low 40s for overnight lows. Now, looking at the next 24 hours, rain today, upper 40s, 40 degrees, rain tonight, mid to upper 50s, sunshine returns late tomorrow.
And back here at home, we're learning more about how the new mayor of Macon-Bibb plans to address blight in the county. Bibb County deputies say it's a big problem that contributes to crime all across the city, from drug deals to homicides. Mayor Lester Miller has been reviewing data that suggests blight and crimes are connected and must be addressed at the same time. He says blight is a work in progress, but a lot more needs to be done.
Actually figured out a way that we can find money to eliminate blight, tear down houses, rehab, things of those natures, without having to build a park or own the property like they had to use for the blight bond. So
Now, Mayor Miller says the city needs has at least 2,000 blighted properties, and 600 of them have already been approved for demolition, but were just sitting in a file. Now, a rare illness is surfacing in kids who've previously had COVID-19. Just ahead, we got the symptoms you should look out for and the group of children who are most at risk.